Hello and namaste. Today we are going to discuss about chemical reaction. So in this video, we'll discuss what is chemical reaction, what are different types of chemical reaction, and what are the conditions required for chemical reaction. And furthermore, we'll also discuss about the different factors that affect the rate of chemical reaction. First, let me tell you why chemical reaction. What's the application of chemical reaction in our everyday life? Listen, everybody, we use various kind of substances. Different kind of substances are needed for our everyday life. So it's a chemical reaction that is responsible for making substances. Look, substances are made making substances, okay? Without chemical reaction, no new substances will be formed. That's what you got to understand. Listen, so far we have discovered near about 118 elements. 118 elements. Among these elements, about 92 naturally occur. Right? These are natural elements. They occur in nature. Um, Out of 118, 92 naturally occur. Rest we have artificially synthesized. There is a process called a nuclear bombardment by nuclear reaction. The scientists, chemists are able to produce some new substances, right? Though they are element, but artificial element, right? So without chemical reaction, no new substances will be there except those 92 naturally occurring elements. Everywhere, only 92 elements. Imagine the life. And most of these 92 elements cannot be used directly. Some are in gaseous state, some are in liquid state. All right. So we need to produce a number of useful substances by using those 92 or altogether 118 elements. Look, we have got new matter, may it be cloth or any other thing. Look at the things around you. All these are made from these 118 elements by the process called chemical reaction. So with this, what I would like to make you clear, chemical reaction is that process which forms new substances. So I hope you understood what's the application of chemical reaction in our everyday life. Without chemical reaction, no new substances can be formed. All right. So therefore, chemical reaction is very important. So let's move ahead and look at what is chemical reaction. Listen, what is chemical reaction? A chemical reaction is a process that brings chemical change, not this point chemical change. A chemical change is a permanent change, right? So because of this change, chemical change, new matter are produced. New substances are produced because of chemical change. Right? In junior classes, you learn about physical changes and chemical changes. Physical changes does not produce new substance. Physical change is a temporary change. Though you may see the physical change also producing different looking substance, but that different looking substance which is produced by physical change does not have different property. It preserves the property of original substance. Say when you freeze water, The water changes into ice, water into ice. But the ice accept the change in state. Water is liquid and ice is solid. The property of ice and the property of water are similar. Did you get this? And you can even reverse ice back into water. So that is what we call the physical change, a temporary change, a reversible change. All right, the change that does not alter, that does not change the properties of matter is physical change. So physical change cannot produce a different substance, but chemical change is a permanent change. Take a piece of paper, tear it from one piece of paper. When you tear it, you will get many pieces. But each small piece of paper preserve the whole property of that whole paper. They look same. Say you had white paper, the small piece also looks white. So whatever the property that big piece of paper had, the similar property will be there with each pieces of paper. So tearing paper and this getting small pieces is a physical change. But when you burn the same paper, right? When you burn the same paper, now the paper will turn into ashes. The ashes does not have same property of paper. So that getting ashes by burning a piece of paper is chemical change. You got new matter. The ash is completely new than the paper. Got it? So chemical change is a permanent change that is responsible for producing new substances. Through chemical change, new substances are created. Just look at here. You have hydrogen, right? And you have oxygen. Under certain condition, when you combine hydrogen and oxygen, you will get water. All right? When you combine hydrogen and oxygen, you will get water. So water is new substance. So hydrogen and oxygen, they went through chemical change. Hydrogen and oxygen my chemical change by you. And that produce totally new substance called water. Though water is made up of hydrogen and oxygen, neither it has the property of hydrogen nor it has the property of oxygen. It is a completely new substance. So that's what we call the chemical change. And the process which brings chemical change is what we call chemical reaction. Look, the chemical reaction, as I said, is responsible for permanent and irreversible change. All right. The changes can be of two types. One is temporary change and another is permanent change. The change that is temporary is not uh, uh, is the chemical change, and the change that is permanent and irreversible in most cases is what we call a chemical change. Fine, everybody? Just name some changes. Digestion of food. What kind of change is it? Is it temporary change or permanent change? The digested food, once the food is digested, can you bring back that food in its original state? No. That's why it is chemical change. Ice into water, I already discussed about it. You can reverse back ice into water and water into ice, so it is a physical change. Water into vapor, the same. When you cool the vapor, it turns back into water, so it is physical change. And burning paper is chemical change. The ashes you can't bring back into the paper. All right, the difference between physical change and chemical change, we already discussed a lot. Chemical change and physical change. Physical change in state like freezing water. The liquid state is changed into solid state. All right. Atoms, molecules of the substance do not change. All right. Whatever the property is there in the original substance, the similar property will be there in the changed substance. Whereas in chemical substance, they are broken, molecules are broken, a property of totally new substance will be produced that that does not bear any property of the original substance. Okay, that's all for today. We'll discuss furthermore in next class.